Oh, always pulls to the right. Welcome back, everybody, to Monster Hunter Rise. Last time we took on Zinogre, a beloved monster that was sadly a little too weak in the village quest for us to truly appreciate. But that's fine with me, because I'll be fighting him a lot, probably moving on. But today, we're taking on another monster, but before we do that, I've dreaded it for long enough. We're gonna start talking about the guns. So today I have with me a heavy bowgun. In this case, it is the Reversal Shot 1, and this is a Tetranodon weapon. And I don't use the guns at all. Like, I've never used them really in any game, so this is somewhat uncharted territory for me. I'm going to just apologize straight away. I'm terrible, but I want to at least show them off. So, the heavy bowgun is all about big damage, which this thing looks like a gigantic super soaker. And that is reflected by how slow you are, on top of how your shots can kind of take a bit to go. But you can also choose to charge up your shots and make them a little stronger. Unfortunately, charging up like every individual shot is just gonna like take way too much time. So I don't think you should be doing that a lot. And the way that you control these, you're holding ZL to aim and then ZR to fire like a normal gun, like in a normal video game. Not like the crazy stuff you had to do in the older like 3DS and PSP Monster Hunters. I don't even want to think about how you would play the gunner weapons there. I kind of mess with the well, that really lists to the side, doesn't it? I ended up messing with like the speed of the mouse in this. It's a little weird. Yeah, I'm not really a shooter guy anyway. I know I play Splatoon every now and then, but that's not necessarily the same type of game. And that has gyro, which this does not, as far as I know. Anyway, but similar to the bow, you have a bunch of different ammo types you can mess with. So these will vary by gun, which, can we look at this, I think, maybe? No. Or I think maybe, do I look at, oh, ammo details. There we go, that's perfect. So yeah, we for this one here, we get normal ammo 1 and 2. Normal ammo 1 is unlimited, but we have, or then normal ammo 2 is stronger, but we have a limited amount of it. You can see like recoil and stuff is a bit different. Reload speed is different for all of these. We have spread ammo and shrapnel. Spread is kind of like I think it's more like a shotgun, and then shrapnel kind of just goes wherever. Sticky ammo is like a sticky bomb that will explode after a second. Exhaust will make the monster, they'll eventually get tired and stop moving. Recovery ammo, you can shoot to other people to heal them, which we won't be using really at all. And then we have, this one also has water and piercing water ammo, which you can guess are more elemental based. I think every gun weapon has trank ammo as an option to, so you can trank monsters from afar, as opposed to using the trank bombs, which is pretty interesting. Um, and so yeah, they're all a bit different. So let's actually kind of cycle through these a little bit here. So like we'll use spread ammo quick, and yeah, that's just like a shotgun blast. But you see, we have a lot of recoil on that. Meanwhile, with shrapnel, it just kind of goes anywhere. It's like spray and pray, I guess. And we can charge up a little bit more for some more damage here. It's not terrible damage, but yeah, it's a little strange. And yeah, all the weapon types are going to have different like ranges where they're usable or not. Like, we can actually still fire this off from here and get at least something, but then we're out of range. So, this one has at least some okay range, whereas if I were to do spread, I think I'm still out of range for this. Yeah, you have to get really, really close with spread ammo. And even then, you can see the difference in the reticle. It zooms in more when I can get, like, max damage off, basically. And then the sticky ammo, we can just show that off quick. Usually you want to go for the head, if you can, and then it does a little bit of damage at first, but then it will blow up and do quite a bit more damage. which again is like a little bit different. Like yeah, we have way less recoil on sticky ammo 1, so just because it's stronger doesn't mean that it's not without its issues. Um, while it's stunned like this, I guess we can show off our special ammo if we load it with A. And for this gun, it's just like a really high-powered, like Gatling gun. And for other heavy bow guns, you instead get like a gigantic like rocket, basically, that you can fire off. So that can vary pretty dramatically depending on who you are. This regenerates over time, so it's best to kind of just save it for a really good moment. And that's what you do with A. X is to reload, or just hit shot again. Oh, that seems to reload almost automatically, which is interesting. And then the piercing water shot, you can see that does a lot of damage if we hit like a particular part of the monster. But I think generally with the piercing ammo, you want to hit them from like, try and get them like lengthwise or something. Just, pierce as much as you can. Like that did, a decent amount. And then your normal ammo, right, is your basic shots here, which this one's doing okay damage. All this. But the thing is, you want to be careful with, keeping your DPS up and moving around a bit as you go. But you can see we're really, really slow. So you got to be really careful to kind of, pick and choose your battles here. And then something that always kind of trips me up, I almost always use run to sheath my weapon, whereas you can't do that with this for some reason. I guess because of controls. So I usually have to hit Y, hit the item button if I want to actually put my weapon away in time. So that's a thing that takes a bit of getting used to. And I guess with that in mind, right? So yeah, you're already using left trigger to aim your gun, so you can't use it for wire bugs. So what you do instead for your silk binds, you hold down R and then do the buttons, which can be a little strange. And this one, okay, well, I guess I chose the wrong one to use first because it's going to take forever to come back. So that one's a counter. And if the monster targets you, you take the full brunt of the attack, you bounce back, and then you charge up a really strong retaliatory shot that can do a lot of damage. But I don't think we can really show that off here. Whereas if we do A, we zip along, and that kind of just lets us get a little more space before we fire off. You can see with this gun too, it lists really, really bad to the right. If you're really far away, so you want to try, and even when we're fairly close, it still does that. So that's one thing to consider. And if we look at the equipment, the weapon on this, so my affinity is 0. I get a defense bonus, which is nice. The deviation is to the right very mildly. High recoil, reload is below average, and then so Wavering Heart is the that's the special ammo we have. That's like the Gatling thing. Whereas the I have mods on this. You can actually mod these weapons. So let's go show that off quick. So we'll go. You can customize Bowgun, and so you at least, I don't know if you unlock more of these later or what, but you have 2 different mods for heavy bowguns. We can have a shield or a power barrel. So by default, it has 110 attack, but with the power barrel on, it has 123. So I can take that away, right? You have that little part on the end add on, and then the shield is just going to let you block stuff as you go, which can be kind of useful in its own way. So that can be somewhat helpful if you're dealing with, monsters being super, super aggressive. But I assume it does it while you're just aiming like this, but I guess we could just try it out because I didn't really notice too much. And then for the switch skills, we won't be making use of this switch skill, I think. So by default you have Mech Wyvern Snipe, but you have Healing Mech Wyvern Snipe. So basically, you can heal yourself with your special ammo, but you do less damage, which is neat, but I don't think we need to really worry about that right now. So that's what we're going to use. I guess really quick though, I could just to show it off. Let's see what the other special ammo looks like. So really quick, the only other one we have, I have the Defender Heavy Bowgun, which I guess we can look at the info on that too. Uh, let's see. So this one has no deviation, has a little bit of recoil, reloads above average. I put the power barrel on this one, and then we have a cluster ammo is another type of ammo, and in this case, it has an arc shot to it, so we can mess around with that quickly too. Which thankfully, training is nice enough to just give us all of this ammo for free. So yeah, you can see we can move and kind of choose how we want the cluster ammo to go. So we can go here and we'll just fire it off. And yeah, you kind of just carpet bomb them a little bit, which is interesting if you can pull it off, but it'll definitely take some time. It does a lot of damage, but again, that's a lot of setup. And then let's see, Wyvern ammo, we can show that off, but we gotta get really close. Like, really close. And that's basically the, basically the Wyvern fire for the gun lance, albeit, you know, you can have access to multiples of it. So it does a lot of damage, but obviously you have to be extremely close. And then we can't really show it off here necessarily because this doesn't really have a tail. But slicing ammo, we can just kind of we'll target the head. Why not? Slicing ammo explodes after a second and does cutting damage. So with the gun, you can still cut off tails. So you do not have to worry about that at all, I guess, which is kind of interesting. But the special ammo is what I really wanted to show off. So for this guy, we'll aim. Oh wait, I'm dumb. I'd already loaded it. Sorry. So we aim. Oh wait, is this the same thing? I thought for sure it was something different. I thought for sure, unless it's a different. Was it the default gun? Is what it was? It might have been. Oh yeah, Wyvern Snipe, the default. That's why I was getting it confused. My mistake. Anyway, so we'll show that off. So yeah, it's a very different. You can see it's a very different symbol. It's a huge shell. So we'll aim this. You actually crouch on the ground. You fire that off, and then boom, tons of damage. So it comes down to just kind of pick your poison a little bit. But we're gonna go with the Tetranodon one, I think, just to try it out. I've tried a few of these off screen. I really did try to get better at using this, but I'm not entirely sure it's gonna go well. So I promise I'll do my best as we get started here. So let's go get the mission. Okay. We're ignoring the urgent, and we're gonna do Anjanath, Nocturnal Tracker. You know, I can think of a few different Capcom games where you fight dinosaurs with guns. Kind of crazy they did it twice. I'm gonna make sure I have my ammo and such in order, and I'll meet you guys at the Sandy Plains.
Tremors in the night. A feline runs in fright, hiding out of sight. But soon it is found, shivering in fear. And when it looks around, its foes already here. Run, young feline, run! You have to get away! For this beast is never done until it snags its prey.
Relentless ruffian, Anjanath. Poor feline. There you go, get in that small place. Okay, wow. Who would have thought Anjanath was a fan of Fuamoko, huh? Anyway, so you see they do drop off some ammo for you if you are at least the normal and spread stuff, the weaker of the two. But hey, better than nothing. So we'll take on Anjanath here. We've seen him quite a few times in a few other fights, but now we can fight him for real. But yeah, he debuted in World. He was not, he's not the flagship of World, but he was a I don't know, he was a pretty common, I think, like sight. People, I think, generally liked him a fair bit because of he did kind of stand out. Oh yeah, I forgot to show off. If you hit both attack buttons, you do a basic melee attack, which I think can be counted as blunt damage. So you do have a very basic close combat option if you so desire. But yeah, Anjanath was in World. He was, I think, one of like the monsters that was a bit of a, that was where the difficulty spike would start to kick in because he hits really hard. But yeah, he's an interesting monster, though he is pretty basic. He's a slightly different. Oh hey. Oh okay. And he's aggro immediately. That's good to know. Um, let's get ready here. Oh yeah, I didn't. Well, I don't have slicing ammo on this, I don't think. So, sadly, we will not be able to get the tail that the Anjanath has, so we'll just have to kind of do our best here. But he's just a T-Rex, right? He's a cooler looking T-Rex. And, here, let's get some... Ow. Okay, well, I'll take that, I guess. We'll use the piercing ammo if we can. It actually does a lot of damage. But yeah, oh, cool, we auto-guard. I guess that helps out a lot. But yeah, he just hits hard, you know? Very much just a brute who's gonna hit as hard as he can help it if he can. Ooh, that hurts a lot. I also forgot to mention, yeah, gunners take more damage. I think I mentioned that with the bow and arrow. But yeah, that's the balancing, I guess, for being able to hit from a distance. Should I just not even be trying to dodge? That might be a better option. Okay, now you don't know where to go. Ooh, okay. Maybe this is an okay shield. Maybe this is what I needed. That might help out a lot, actually. And yeah, even uncharged, this actually does okay damage, the piercing shot. I'm pretty sure... Oh, here we go. Now Anjanath is angry, which is where his design actually gets interesting. Oh, I was not ready. Let's get out of here. Yeah, he can do that. And if you attack his throat while he's like this, that's where he gets scary. Ow. And that did a lot, actually. I don't want to die here, if I can help it. So yeah, that's like the thing that kind of trips me up, is just how much damage you end up taking. Look over here. No, stop. There we go. Oh, I thought I dodged. Yeah, your roll is not very good. So yeah, you gotta be careful. I'm taking a lot of hits that I don't need to be taking. Okay, let's get our special ammo ready here. Which, unfortunately, it takes a lot of setup. But it does a lot of damage if we can actually land it. Okay, so much for auto guard, which maybe we can't do that while we have special ammo out. I'm gonna die. Oh no, we actually managed to stun him. Cool. Only in village. Oh yeah, look how much that spreads out. Are you kidding me? Stupid monster. I hate these little guys so much. All right, we'll eat the mega. Okay, well you're dead now. You have to because of that. Actually, I'm sorry. You just have to go. I'm not wasting any ammo on you. That's just for revenge. But we did some okay damage to him, I think, overall. But we could have done better. Oh, and Anjanath was here. I may as well get this while we're here. Sure. Altaroth, not Noth. Anyway, so we don't have to worry about sharpening at least, which is nice, I guess. But yeah, that damage is not great because Anjanath does hit pretty hard on top of everything else. And to be completely honest with you, this might be the last time we see Heavy Bowgun. I do want to try, messing around with some of the other weapons here and there, but I'm just not feeling it, man. I've really, really tried, and I've asked friends for some pointers, which they have not gotten back to me at the time of recording. But I do the best I can, and it ain't working. Like they don't want me to charge, but you get the most damage if you charge. So I'm getting some mixed messages here, and it feels like even for like the weapons deal being like slow damage, like slow but big damage, I'm just not getting much here. Oh, I got webbed up by those stupid things. Well, doesn't matter. I didn't have my gun out? Okay. Oh, hey, you guys broke something. Cool. But yeah, oh, now I broke his arm. Or his leg, rather. So he's got cool-looking scars. See, I chose this weapon specifically, though, because I know Anjanath is weak to water. Because, if you play World, you learn really quickly in Monster Hunter World that, they don't have great variety. They only had like one water monster in the entire game for the longest time, I'm pretty sure. It was a ridiculous amount. Like it reminds me of like Pokemon, let's get sticky ammo ready. Whoa, whoa, oh, I still got tremored by that? Okay, whatever. Yeah, you're really, really slow with this. Cool, got him right in the face. Ah. Blow up, there we go. I kind of want him to get mad again so I can try and break his like nose bone or whatever that's supposed to be. But maybe it's not meant to be. There we go. That's two of them. Now he's got like big glowing eyes. Ow. I still... why did I not block that? Did I like look away or something? Oh god. Okay, we're gonna get out of here. Oh, he's trying to kick me. Did you see that? You believe this disrespect? Let's get the rest of the water ammo out here. That was actually doing a lot of damage. My aim is not the best either, which doesn't help. Yeah, he's getting pretty, Oh, he's running away again? That works for me. He's probably almost dead, honestly, because we've been doing pretty well. Breaking different parts of his body. I do gotta use my wire bugs. I'll have to do the wire bug counter at least once here, because it looks pretty cool if you can pull it off. I just always forget. Plus the changes to all that kind of get to me sometimes. And now he's angry. This is the end. And that's a lot of damage. Okay, we can zip around like this. And he's really going crazy with the fire. There we go. And I think we can actually ride him now. And we can just shoot and do that, sure. Yeah, I don't feel like running to everybody else, so we'll just kind of knock him around a bit. No, don't go that way. Go here, and then we'll go right over here one last time so he gets bombarded by these guys. And we'll get some special ammo loaded, which takes forever. And we'll see if we can't break his, like, face thing. Or his throat if we haven't already broken it. I almost feel bad for him. Almost. stay where you are. Look over here. Wow, that list's really bad. Like, I'm really just starting to think this is just a bad weapon. Like this specific heavy bowgun is just not very good. Although the shield is nice. I think the shield is actually the big thing kind of helping this out. Can I just reload this and... Okay, please? Okay, well, doing this while trying to reload doesn't help anything. He's throwing out his his big old rock throw attack. There we go. Well, it's on his head, kind of. Oh, there. I guess I didn't use up. I thought I had used up the piercing. Man, the wind pressure that he does is kind of crazy. This should do a lot. Oh yeah, that's a lot. Just right down the middle. Yeah, that's right. Who do you think you are? The fact that it's only one shot, though, is kind of annoying. Man, I'm still getting wind swept like crazy because of that. You know... Are you gonna run away? I hate when monsters do that. Oh wait, I'm using the wrong thing. Ooh, we actually did block that. Nice. Kind of not saying a lot, because I'm not really sure what else to say. I'm gonna die. Here, let's zip away and do this. Alright, let's finish him off with some Gatling, shall we? Yeah! End it! Alright, that felt good. Considering how low his health is, that was not too bad. We don't get the tail, unfortunately, but I feel like I at least got to show this off a little bit. We got the pelt, a scale, and another scale. Alright, fair enough. We also got something over here. Another scale. Alright. I'll take it, you know. It could have been worse. I think I didn't use the exhaust really at all. Or the shrapnel, really. You probably shouldn't bring too many ammo types, I guess, in case you get, like, concerned. Or confused which to use, but, you know, it's interesting. So, yeah, I hear Heavy Bowgun is, like, the speedrun weapon. But not the way I use it, I guess. Maybe I just have a bad one that I picked. I didn't even use the kunai the whole time. Why not show me using my cool gun? Okay, well, what do we get for our trouble? We got his nose bone, even though I don't think we actually broke it. We got a bunch of scales and pelts. And we got scales for the leg, and we got fangs for the... Okay, we broke the head, but I don't think we got the nose bone. But they still gave it to me. But yeah, we didn't get the tail at all, so that's a little bit of a disappointment. But, you know, it's cool. And he is a cool monster. You know, that's a cool screenshot. That could totally be the screenshot for, you know, some kind of crisis involving dinosaurs, maybe. And we're back. I forgot to get the Meowscenaries last time. Oh well. Well, oh yeah, no one cares because we that was not a urgent quest. Oh well. Let's take a look at our spoils to close out. So, Anjanath, we can finally look at his stuff. It looks more like a traditional knight, actually, which is kind of interesting. Jurassic Knight. And as far as the things we get a big attack boost. Stamina depletion is reduced when you're like running around, which is nice. We can stun monsters more easily, and we can fill gauges more quickly with a lot of different weapons. So that's actually pretty cool. So not a bad weapon or armor set, I think. We get a bunch of fire resistance, although, yeah, water is like the big... looks like he's weak to everything else. And look at this. We needed a plate for the head, and we need the tail for the legs, so I probably wasn't going to be able to make the whole set anyway. You'd still have to do it a few times. I'm curious if there is a heavy bowgun for him or not. I wouldn't be totally shocked if there isn't one. Does not look like it. Well, that's a cool looking... Okay, I don't know what the... I don't recall how you get the Bumble Pumpkin. That's an interesting looking Bowgun, admittedly. I do like that it looks like this is just a like a sawed-off shotgun. That's kind of cool. And that looks pretty neat, too, the jelly weapon. But that has a lot of deviation and stuff. So there's a lot. So maybe I just need to shop around and find the heavy bowgun that's for me. But we didn't really have a lot of options early in the game. That's kind of why I stopped messing with it. Let's see. I think we probably get an Anjanath Greatsword. How's that looking? Oh, right there. Yeah, the Flamenzon. Yeah, I'm curious about Gunlance. Yes, I'm moving past it. The Flaming Gunlance, that's not the most interesting name. Well, Hunting Horn, just because of the nose thing and the weird roar it does. I don't see it. Unless I'm just blind. In which case you yell at me in the comments. I don't see it. Well, so there's some cool weapons there, all things considered. And then we can look at our buddy stuff really quick, too, to close out. Aww. So that's a cool looking... Aw, look at the flimsy little dinosaur face mask. That's cute. That's very adorable. Almost looks like a Digimon. Then we can switch over to the dog. Dog gives us something that looks a little more dignified, maybe. You know, it's kind of cool looking. Like the fur trim is a nice touch, I think. And not so bad. And then lastly, our notes. So Anjanath here. Attack anything without hesitation. Membrane along its tail fans out when it's provoked. And then it does so when it's about to breathe fire. That's cool. So yeah, focus on the throat to gain the edge and kind of stop it from shooting out fire, which I think we tried to do a few times, although I don't think we broke anything. And yeah, he's very, very weak to water. So that was a good call on our part. And yeah, we missed out on the tail and the plate. Which that's the plate right there, likely. So 70% chance to get it on a car if we can get it. That's kind of... I'm trying to think. I think they must just mean carve on the actual tail itself, because I don't think you can get a carve from the body. But yeah, Anjanath was a cool monster. And I'm glad I got to show off the heavy bowgun as bad as it was. I'll try the light bowgun at some point soon. And at that point, I believe we have all the weapons we've taken care of. Let me triple check that. So... yeah, we started off doing greatsword and longsword, sword and shield, dual blades, yep. Both lances, the hammer and hunting horn. We've done both of these at this point. So yeah, just the light bowgun remains. So with that, I'll finally have covered everything. It only took, you know, like almost 30 videos. But I do intend to reuse some weapons here and there. So ones that we haven't maybe seen as much of here and there as well. So stay tuned for that. But... I guess with that said, next time we're going to take on El Mudron and defeat this Hermit of the Swamp and see if we can, you know, maybe we'll finally reach peace and we won't have to worry about hunting any other monsters. We totally don't have a whole roster left. But I'll leave you all with one last pose. Let's be noble today. There we go. See you all next time.